previously on bad ideas that I've had and then bought them on Facebook Marketplace, we bought this teeny tiny electric scooter intended for children from Facebook Marketplace for just a few dollars, and we instantly threw more voltage at it.
Like young teenagers, preteen.
No.
Kids.
And it was an absolute disaster. We had the wrong battery. The gears that we bought for it didn't work. The wiring was an absolute mess. And it was a little disappointing. So I got online. And I thought I did my research. But I did the correct research. And I went to the forums. I asked the people that actually soup up these little electric bikes all the time. I asked them, what am I doing wrong? What do I need? We got a new battery. We got all kinds of accessories. We're going to put underbodies on this thing. In the last video, we had headlights, but they were wired up to legit cause a fire. Like, it was a little sketchy. But they worked. So on this one, we are going to fix all that stuff, make it actually rip the way that it should, and we've got a little surprise. We are gonna put something on this bike that is just gonna put it over the top, make it probably the coolest electric mini bike that's out there.
Let's get this thing back on the bench and finish it right. You know what they say, misery loves company, so let me know about your biggest failed projects in the comments below. Did you give up on them, or did you finally get sweet redemption? Last time, our biggest fail was this battery. It just didn't have enough amps to drive the motor or the motor controller that we upgraded. And the whole bike would shut off at anything over half throttle, so it had to go. Thankfully, some heroes in the forums pointed me in the right direction, and I picked up this bigger bat with not only more amps, but more capacity as well. The new battery goes in the same place as the old one, and just like that, it was ready for a test drive. Luckily, my dad was around to give it the inaugural rip.
You want to take it outside? Give it a rip down the road. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. That's a brake? Yeah, that's rear brake.
With that out of the way, we could focus on fixing the wiring and make it a little bit less catchy on fiery. So we were doing the right thing and installing this 12-volt fuse block for all the accessories. We left the factory power switch installed, but the wires went nowhere. So we'll hook it up to the switch and run all the accessories off of a 3S LiPo battery, complete with fuses for the circuits and room for expansion. It was cheap. So yeah, usually fuses, you know, they're kind of expensive. Those were not.
Those are not. And I like the way that they sound like a bag of pegs for a light bright machine. And awfully look like the same colors.
Yeah, dude.
I wonder if they make like a cool rainbow when they're about to blow.
They absolutely do.
In the pursuit of the Bring Neons Back movement, we're going to install these budget spec rock lights. And to put this project truly over the top, Carpoo Ride, who makes some of the sickest CarPlay and Android Auto units, got in touch and sent us this awesome unit for us to install, not only giving us GPS speed, but all the luxuries that come with modern connectivity and a simple plug-and-play module. More on them in a bit.
I think we should put in the freaking rock lights because it's like the most amount of wiring, and it's going to be just a giant rat's nest.
Yeah.
So I think everything from there on out should be pretty simple and straightforward. One there, one back here.
Definitely make sure you leave enough slack that it can
Download our app. We won't steal your data.
disconnect it.
Oh yeah, we can disconnect it.
Let me see that real quick.
There you go. Do what you want.
Yeah.
I'll work on the easy ones. Bro, we have used that body reamer for so many things other than reaming bodies.
I didn't know if you knew that's what I was doing or not.
Oh yeah, that noise is unmistakable. Like, oh, I know what he's using. But let's be real, that's the perfect tool for the job. It's like a handheld, like, step bit or unibit.
Yeah.
All right, so all of our accessories, the lights, the CarPlay, the rock lights, all that stuff is going to be switched on and off by this switch here. And we're going to hook this switch up to a 12 volt or 3S LiPo. And we've already got one like crudely installed here that just go right to the lights. But now that we're running more stuff, we're actually going to wire this up to the switch, and then the power from the switch is going to go to our new fuse block. We're actually doing this like somewhat the right way. So believe it or not, this isn't going to be completely jank. At least I hope not. And this is basically going to connect to the positive wire going to the switch, and then the other positive wire coming from the switch will go to our fuse panel, and then all the negatives get hooked together, and then from there we can hook up our 12 volt power right to the fuse block, and boom, Bob's your uncle. At least in theory, that's how it should work. So now that we've got the rock lights pretty much mounted where we want them to go, now we need to wire up the switch, mount the fuse block, and start running the wires for the headlights, wire them into the fuse block, as well as the CarPlay GPS doodle. Okay, moment of truth. I'm gonna plug in the battery. We got our light bright fuses in there. So far, so good. I haven't turned on the switch yet.
Light bright fuses.
Hey!
Hey, they work.
All right. Headlights are
that's
on.
only 2 of them right now.
That's only 2 of them,
it's
dude.
gonna get ridiculous.
It's gonna get nutty. Yep.
Nice.
Boom. Oh yeah, dude.
Man.
That
This is the dumbest razor on earth.
Oh my god, it's so obnoxious. With everything mostly installed and working, we could reassemble the bike, connect to our Bluetooth rock lights, and set up our new CarPlay unit and finally test it out. Big shout out to Carpoo Ride. They sent this thing over when I told them about this bike that we were building, and they said, man, we make these things for motorcycles. So they sent one our way, and it is awesome because not only do we have a digital dash, you know, we got digital speed right here, but we got jams. If you're into dirt bikes and that kind of thing, you know, you can get Onyx Off-Road on here. All of the things that you could ever want to have on your mini bike, your dirt bike, your motorcycle, whatever. Dude, we can order pizza from the mini bike.
You better be doing it.
And they don't just make them for mini bikes. Like, if you have an older car like mine, it's a 2014, and it doesn't have CarPlay, and it's kind of a pain in the butt, and the sat-nav in it sucks nowadays, they make them that you can just, like, mount right to your windshield or put on your dash. They come with dash cams, all kinds of awesome stuff, huge screens, like really high-definition screens, really nice stuff. Way better than the cheap Chinese ones that you get on Amazon for like $100. Way nicer than that stuff. Do yourself a favor. If it's something you use every day, like I use in my car, spend the money on it, get something nice, and thank me later. I'm going to put a link down below, and Carpoo Ride said any of you guys that want one, they're going to give you a discount, so check out the description box below. And if you're not a freaking wiring engineer like we are, they also send a little USB cable, so you know you can just you could just like power it off of like a USB power bank, and literally install this thing in anything: your car, your bike, your bicycle, like your Razor scooter. Ethan's online right now looking him up.
Yeah.
He's sold. This thing is also IP67 waterproof, so we can ride this bad boy in the rain, and we will short out the mini bike before we have any problems with this thing. Freaking awesome. It came with an extra fuse. The instructions were super easy to understand. There's my helmet right there. Boom, connected. So now, if we go back into here, go into CarPlay, we should have... Dude, whoever thought we would have Bluetooth jams on the mini bike? This is cooler than it has any right to be, honestly.
buy a 50cc scooter?
We know, my theory was right. If you go faster, it really kind of evens out the bumps. It's not as harsh to ride as it was going half the speed, honestly.
I bet.
It's so sketchy. It's so sketchy at that speed.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Do you feel maybe equally as sketchy as riding a scooter one-handed while filming?
These handlebars are way better. It's a lot more comfortable to ride, but like my knees aren't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if it was just a little bit bigger, I would say it would even be comfortable.
All right, big hole.
Big hole, big hole. I am a little curious about the range. We've got 10,000 milliamp hours, and to be honest, like off camera, we've ridden this thing quite a bit. It seems like it's pretty dang reliable, and I mean, we have ripped it up and down the road so many times around the block. My dad rode it, you know, and I've never got the battery gauge below 50%. So, I mean, you could, if your butt could handle it, you could really like use this thing around in the pits, you know, like at the racetrack.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you could go for a little cruise, you know, if your buddy got one from Facebook Marketplace or bought something similarly as sketchy from Facebook Marketplace. No, you could go cruising together.
Oh, yeah.
But as you can see, the GPS is working great. We got speed on there, and we're doing what? 16 mile an hour already? Super sketchy to ride one-handed, super sketchy. It's fast enough that it's scary, which is kind of what I was after. You know, I'm not trying to break any speed records here, but I want to get this thing to go about as fast as the chassis will let it, and I think we're pretty gosh darn close there. So, you know, the inaugural ride, we had to go get pizza. The real question is it gonna fit?
Oh, yeah, we'll just sit on it.
Because it's definitely not fitting on this thing. But look how wicked. So that is definitely more like it. 22 mile an hour on a little children's electric toy, which is about as fast as I want to go on that chassis. And really, we wanted to do this project, or I wanted to do this project, just to kind of get my feet wet and see if modifying electric bikes was something that was interesting and something we could do. And I think there's so many options out there. There's a huge community of people that build these things, that race these things, that do incredible stuff on Surons and all kinds of crazy stuff, not just little electric razor scooter toys. So I definitely am interested, maybe buying one a little bigger, maybe one intended for adults, and you know, coming at it exactly the same way that we come with a lot of our projects. Let's buy it, let's experience it in its stock formation, and then let's throw all kinds of voltage at it and see how fast we can go.
We generally end up making it significantly worse.
Yeah, that sounds
But
about right.
it checks out.
So that thing was a lot of fun to build and put together. We wrenched on it for a few nights, you know, and got everything running. And I'm honestly impressed with our workmanship. That thing is super duper tidy, and it's definitely a head turner. The few pictures that I've posted online of it, people are like, "Oh my god, what is that?" And it's super fun to ride, and it makes me want to do it again with something bigger, with something better, with something faster for sure. Anyway, thank you so much for coming along on this journey. Big shout out to Carplay Ride for making that thing awesome with the freaking Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, waterproof, super easy to install and use, way cooler than the rest of the bike, honestly. So if you're interested in getting one for yourself, for your bicycle, for your mini bike, for your car, do me a big favor and check out the link below. Tell them that we sent you. It definitely helps the channel.
Oh, yeah.
And if this is your first time checking out the channel, welcome. I'm glad you found it. We like to do RC shenanigans and maybe some mini bike shenanigans like
Every
this.
now and then.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you real soon.
Ooh, chopping.
Chopping two-stroke scooters out here.
I doubt that.